All right, so if you're looking to build your future, you are at a fundamental crossroads. Are you going to build your empire in the fast-paced digital world of clicks or on the solid, timeless ground of bricks? These are two incredibly powerful paths to wealth, but they are entirely different games. So let's break down the playbook for each one.
Here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll set the stage, really define what we mean by clicks versus bricks. Then, we'll dive deep into the digital hustler's playbook and see how it stacks up against the real estate investor strategy. And here's the part you're probably waiting for. We're going to show you how you can start on either path with literally zero capital. Finally, we'll pull it all together to help you figure out which move is right for you.
Okay, so let's get into it. On one side, you've got the world of digital clicks. It's lightning fast, it's high volatility, it's constantly changing. And on the other side, you have the slow, steady, and very tangible world of bricks. Now, both can lead to some serious wealth, but they require completely different mindsets, different skills, a different kind of person, really.
And this right here, this is the core question we're asking today. Where does your future lie? Are you built for that fast-paced, always-on world of the internet? Or are you more suited for the patient, long-term game of property? Let's start by digging into that clicks path.
Welcome to the world of the digital hustler. We're talking content creation, automation, chasing trends. It's a game of speed, of adaptation, and just intense, relentless work. But please, don't be fooled by the glamorous image you might see online. It's not always what it looks like.
One really successful creator put it pretty bluntly. He said, "I will work like a dog for 6 days." And listen, he wasn't kidding. That's not some motivational poster quote. That's his literal work schedule. 6 straight days of nonstop, intense work with just 1 day to recover. That's the reality behind the screen.
So what's the actual game plan here? Well, it's often a 1-2 punch. First, you get your foot in the door by jumping on a big, popular trend. Think of something like those satisfying factory videos that everyone watches. But the real genius move is the pivot. You then shift into a very specific niche that has a dedicated, high-value audience, like horror fans, for example. And you focus on places like the US, where the ad money is just way, way better.
And trust me, there's a real strategy to this madness. It all starts with constant trend analysis. What's hot right now? Then you've got to identify and target the most profitable viewers out there. From there, it's all about making content that can actually compete. And finally, you make that critical pivot to build a channel that's going to last, one that doesn't just ride the wave of a single fleeting trend.
So let me be crystal clear. This is not a chill lifestyle. It's not just hitting record and uploading a video whenever you feel like it. It's days and days of deep research, it's coordinating with the team, and it's accepting a really hard truth. The vast majority of your ideas and your projects are going to fail. Real success in this game is built on a mountain of those failures.
Okay, let's completely switch gears now. Let's talk about the other side of the coin, building an empire on solid ground. We're talking about real estate, the classic, tangible asset that has been creating massive fortunes for centuries.
There's this quote that I think just nails it. Money doesn't grow on trees, but believe me, it grows on the ground. It perfectly captures the mindset of a real estate investor. While the cash in your bank account might just be sitting there, sleeping, the land you own, it's working for you 24/7.
And the logic behind this is actually super simple, right? Real estate is an asset that can't really be stolen or easily wiped out. But here's the most important part. The supply of land is fixed. They aren't making any more of it. But the population, the demand for that land, well, that's always going up. That simple imbalance is the engine that creates wealth in real estate.
Let me tell you a quick story to make this really concrete. Imagine 2 friends, Akash and Batash. They both have 10 lakh to invest. Akash plays it safe. He puts his money into a fixed deposit at the bank. But Batash, he takes that same 10 lakh and buys a small plot of land, maybe on the outskirts of town. Okay, now fast forward 5 years. The results are, well, they're staggering. Akash's money grew to about 13 lakh, which barely even kept up with inflation. Meanwhile, a new road project gets announced near Batash's property, and suddenly, his land is worth 50 lakh. That right there, that's the raw power of asset appreciation. It's a game changer.
So right about now, you're probably thinking, that's awesome, but I don't have 10 lakh just lying around. And look, this is maybe the most important part of this whole thing. Both of these paths have an entry point that requires zero capital. It's a classic game of sweat versus brain. So what's your first investment if it's not cash?
Well, for the digital hustler, your investment is sweat equity. It's your time, your sleepless nights, researching trends, the skills you teach yourself like video editing. For the real estate strategist, it's brain equity. It's your ability to network, to build trust, and to connect the right people to make a deal happen.
Here's exactly how that works in real estate. It's called the matchmaking method, and it's a simple, four-step process. 1. You find someone who needs to sell a property. 2. You find someone else who's ready to buy. 3. You make the connection. And 4. You secure your commission for making it happen, usually about 1 to 2%. Think about it. On a 1 crore deal, that's 1 to 2 lakh right in your pocket, with zero money down.
Another really powerful tool is the joint venture. Let's say you find an incredible deal, but you have no money. You can find an investor who has the capital, but maybe doesn't have the time or the ideas. You bring the deal, you do the legwork, they bring the money. You partner up, and you split the profits, maybe 50-50. You got to remember, in the market, there's no shortage of money. There's a shortage of trustworthy, intelligent people. But for any of this to work, you have to understand that your character is your capital. Honesty, trustworthiness, these things are completely non-negotiable. One bad deal, one lie, and your reputation is shot. It's all about being a true professional, building a powerful network, and getting access to insider info, knowing who needs to sell long before that property ever hits the market.
So, we've looked at both sides now, the high-intensity sprint of the digital world and the patient marathon of real estate. The big question isn't which one is better. The real question is, which game are you built to play?
So let's put them head to head. The digital path, it's a fast, high-intensity sprint. It demands adaptability and analytical skills. The risk is high volatility and frequent failure, but the potential scale is global. Real estate, that's a slow, patient, long-term marathon. The key skill is networking and building trust. The growth is slower, more tangible and more localized. As you look at this, which side sounds more like you?
So I'll leave you with this. Which empire will you build? One of global attention, built on clicks, or one of tangible assets, built on bricks? Or maybe the ultimate strategy isn't choosing one over the other, but mastering the first one to fund the second. Now that's a thought to build on.